recording now. First things first, I like to thank you, Joanne, so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to interview with the Dabby magazine.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me about your time during lockdown. How was it for you, and what did you get up to?
Well, first of all, panicked, as we all did. And then, to be honest, it was kind of like needed. The time that we were given, it was needed. We kind of took time to work on logistics. And you know what? I grew my team in lockdown, which I thought would be impossible. But yeah, I grew my team, invested in new kind of logistics systems, and built a new collection. So it was good. It was really good.
Good. So very productive. Sounds very, very, very productive.
Yeah, I think you have to be.
Exactly. You have to keep up. You have to, and I keep on saying to everyone, I keep saying to people, Corona can't stop the content. So whatever you got out there has to be done regardless of Corona, this, that.
You just got to adapt with the times, don't you?
Exactly.
It is a challenge. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, exactly. Just move with it.
Move.
Tell me about your background. How did it kind of come about, Nünude, and yeah, did your background lead up to Nünude? Have you always been
No,
into the fashion?
no, not at all. So went to uni, did media production. So I wanted to kind of do what you're doing.
Yeah.
It didn't quite work. It was really competitive. So to be honest with you, just jumped straight into business. I knew I didn't want to work for someone, which is so cliche. Everyone says that, but I really didn't. And I guess from school, I used to buy and sell trainers in school. In secondary school, I used to buy and sell Air Forces and Aero hats and sell it to all the boys, and it did really well. Then in college, I would buy like the most trending brand, like Ed Hardy. If you remember Ed Hardy.
Yeah, and it's still Ed Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
still quite big now. It's still quite big, Ed Hardy. It's still, yeah. It's still. I've still seen people. Yeah, still
I
seeing
haven't
about here and there. Yeah.
more in America, I think.
Yeah, America, of course. Yeah, it's like a skateboarding kind of thing, isn't it? That kind of,
Yeah, a bit grungy, yeah. So I bought and sold that, and then kind of like went into uni and then tried to get a job after, and I was just like, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see myself happy. So just literally invested all my money into a business, which was a photo booth hiring business. Don't ask why. It just made money. It just made financial sense at the time.
Yeah.
And it just stood there for about 3 months, didn't do anything. And then after that, I researched into how to build a website, learned how to build a website, how to advertise, how to market. So I learned everything through Google, YouTube, Photoshop, everything you can think of that I never learned before, I learned through there. And then had that business for about 2.5 years, which was really, really successful, really lucrative. But it wasn't, I'm very passionate about helping people, and I'm very passionate about making a difference. So it wasn't fulfilling. Then obviously fast forwarded 2 years, after 2.5 years of having that business, and lost everything because I was young, I was 20, I was greedy, I was making a lot of money, didn't know what I was doing with money. Financial education, no one ever told me have a bank account or an ISA. I had no idea.
It's true.
I lost everything, but also everything got stolen, and I didn't have the right business insurance, so I learnt my lesson very early on. And then I was just stuck, and I didn't know what to do, so I wanted to build an app. The app, I just had an idea to build an app, and then I did some work around it, and I needed about £200,000 to start the idea. So I thought, okay, what's the easiest way to make money? Start a brand. That was it. And I was like, okay, well, I had an idea before about skin tones, because I'm originally from Colombia, and shapewear has been around for decades. And like my great grandma used to wear shapewear. So it's not something new for us, but shapewear is usually like a purpley color. Like it's not really skin tone or even beige. It's not really nude. So I had the idea about that, but then kind of just brushed it off. And then when I realized I needed money for the app, I thought, oh, let me go back with that idea because it's quite cool. Then I started to research into it, and I just automatically became passionate about the fact that there is actually nothing to match people's skin tone, and it actually really, really annoyed me. And it kind of was born due to the frustration of the lack of representation and diversity in the fashion industry. And the more I read about it and the more I understood, I was like, this was back in 2016. So there was no diversity in skin tone. There was no diversity in body shapes or sizes or disabilities. It was just picture perfect. And I hated that concept, because as a woman, you've grown up with so many insecurities as a result of what you see. So I became passionate about it, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do something about this. Worked on it for 6 months, and built up an Instagram page in April 2016, and then launched about 6-7 months later, but was kind of telling people throughout the whole process what we were doing, like sneak peeks and
Oh,
just
nice. The
getting them in.
teasers. Get them,
Yeah,
load them in. Yeah.
exactly. But more so, I wanted people to be a part of the journey. I wanted people to. I wanted it to feel like a community of people coming together.
Yeah.
So when we launched, we had about 8,000 followers,
Uh-huh.
and we had sold everything on pre-orders already. The campaign went viral. We did a petition to change the word, the definition of the word nude in the dictionary. Which was amazing. That's what kicked off everything for us, and it grew my passion even more. I was like, wow, like if we can imagine what else we can do. And it was all just because of skin matching underwear that we wanted to do. Initially, it was shaped so expensive, so I went to underwear. And so that's kind of like how it came about, and then it's evolved over time, obviously.
Of course, that's what I was gonna say. We touched on their nudes. That you guys were defining what nude means. It's so key, and that's probably the point where you thought, wait, we're actually doing something big here. Because nude to me, again, you say it's a beige color, but to me it's a relative to whatever skin tone you are. So it should be, it should be redefined really. Because me being dark skinned, nude could be dark skinned brown. I'm wearing a dark brown jumper or something.
That's what's so funny about it, you know, because when we were starting the brand at the time, like Yeezy's first collection came out and it was all nudes, and the Kardashians were all about nude. It was beige. And I was speaking with my friends, and I was like, hold on a minute, like I really just don't understand where this concept has come from, because for me, my whole life, nude was naked, like you know, nude beach. When we researched in the dictionary, I was like, let me just actually get the definition of it. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Fair enough. So we looked in the dictionary, and the first definition, you know, there's always that 1, 2, 3. The first definition was nude, naked. And the second one was pink beige, and I have the screenshot. Pink beige, and I was just like, and it said pink beige tights to be precise. So I was like, how is the dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, contradicting itself? You're saying naked, but then it's only naked to one person then, because pink beige, I don't even think pink is a skin color, to be honest. But if you're saying it's naked and you're saying it's matching pink beige tights, then it was weird. So we found that to be a problem. We were like, it's so contradictory. Let's play on this idea and correct them by showing them what nude and naked really is. And and then when we realized it was successful, we were like, ooh, we're onto something here.
So this is actually the Collins Dictionary, like as in, is this actually a Collins Dictionary? Which that is? Oh no, my bad, Oxford Dictionary.
The Oxford Dictionary,
You've actually changed it. That's amazing.
So now it says number 1, naked, and number 2, matching the wearer's skin.
Wow, top. That's amazing. Oh, and what was the main inspiration behind? What was the main major inspiration behind creating Nünude?
I think it was just, well, to be honest, it was my own experience. Like I was going to a wedding in Colombia, naturally quite tan when I met.
Of course.
And then everyone had to wear white, and I was part of the bridal group, and the kind of, it didn't fit me right. So I wanted to get something that would match my skin tone, so you couldn't see it white, and also make me look quite, sucked in. And I couldn't find it. And my friend, who's quite dark skinned, she's quite dark skinned Colombian, we were trying to find the same thing, and we were like, oh, this is really weird. So I think it came from,
you mean dark like me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right.
Well, there's a lot of diversity in Colombia.
Isn't there? Yeah.
But so I think it grew from that frustration, but also when I started to research, I was like, to be honest, fashion sets trends. Like if Rihanna started wearing a bin bag over her head, everyone would wear a bin bag over her head.
Exactly.
So what goes on the wrong way, then we follow a sheep. So if we can use fashion to change something, then let's do it. And it really was that. It was to change the perception of what nude is, but also in turn build women's confidence by representing women through real women. So not agency models, our own community of women, with like the dimples, with the cellulite, with the stretch marks, just natural. Just because I remember growing up, especially for me in UK, everyone was like, "Oh, you're Colombian, so where's your bum?" Like, why don't you
they have that stereotype, don't they, of Latina stereotype. That.
And the thing is, you know what's so funny? When you actually go to Colombia, all the billboards look like American women, so that blonde, blue eyes. This is dyed. Naturally, we don't have blonde hair, all blue eyes, really. So even there, I was like, well, this is so weird. And you've grown up with that perception of yourself, and then if you don't fit into the stereotype, you feel a bit like, you know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to change that and just maybe help younger women with their insecurities through fashion and setting trends and making everyone follow through.
And to show natural, just no filter, strip back, everything, all diversity, and something that's representative of the society we live in. People are all shapes and sizes. And fashion comes in all shapes and sizes, isn't it?
It really does make me passionate, because if you look at society now with Instagram and influencers, the amount of things that they edit that are just unrealistic expectations. Please, like, let's just have one thing that's just genuine and authentic.
Yeah. No, amazing. And so you're saying your who is it? Which family member was really into fashion before, and that?
My grandma, she owned a factory in Colombia.
Okay, so she's another inspiration.
Sorry?
She's another major inspiration as well.
Yeah, definitely. She was a single mother of 5, and she built this company from the bottom up. And then she ended up, well, I actually don't remember what happened. I was really young when she passed, so I think they must have sold it after. But she was one of the main factories in Colombia, for, supplying all the stores, it was kids' clothes. And I grew up in the factory because I used to live with my grandma back then, because I was born and raised in Colombia. I came when I was 9, so I think maybe subconsciously I was into it. I don't know, maybe.
Okay, so you speak fluent.
Yeah, first language. Yeah.
Okay.
Spanish.
Spanish, my bad. Spanish. Yeah. She'll be very proud of you right now. That's all. She'll be very proud of you.
I feel connected somewhat.
Yeah. With Nünude, what makes you different from other similar, diversity empowering brands? What is your USP?
To be honest, it has to be that we're very community driven. Before Corona, we do monthly events for our community. So you'll only ever be invited if you become a customer. If you become a customer, you then become part of the community. You get invited to our events, and they're all to do with like body empowering, self-love workshops. Like we had one time like a diversity yoga session where we focus on the fact that even if you've got a disability or you're an amputee or whatever it is that makes you different, that you feel like you can't do certain things, we'll make sure you can do it. So like a dance class or like a yoga class or anything, just to keep the aspect there. And we have events as well, like every 2 months usually, despite Corona, just
exactly.
It's just a little party really. It's called the Self-Love Mini Festival. We do it every couple months. And we just invite everyone to come. There's like little workshops. There's like speed networking, and it's very community focused. So we're not fast fashion. We're not fast fashion.
Not ASOS. You're not ASOS.
No, we're nothing like that. We're really not focused on fast fashion. It's about quality, and it's about solving our customer problems. And our community are part of our designing journey. So during the events, we'll ask for feedback. They'll get access to the products before. And even if you're part of the community and you get emails, you'll be asked to be a part of the design process. So we'll send you options for maybe you want to have a zip there or a zip here, and you can vote, and majority wins. So it's very community driven. It's very like customer focused. It's not fast fashion. We're connected to our people that we represent. We don't want to be disconnected. Otherwise we'll be just like everyone else.
Yeah, that's your uniqueness.
Yes.
Community feel, exactly. Was there anything else you wanted to be when you were growing up? Think back to the young Joanne. Was the end goal to be?
I think probably when I was like 9, 10, I wanted to be a teacher. So I used to get my whiteboard and my teddy bears there.
So were you quite the bossy 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Get what you want.
And then, to be honest, in uni, probably because I only went to uni to do media, I wanted to be a producer, film and TV producer. But I never, to be honest, I think I always struggled with knowing what I really wanted to do. And I think when it came to uni, I only chose, honestly speaking, media because my dad has a business in media. I thought actually that would be easy, but did I know that my dad is just he's very much.
You can use the connections,
No, but he wasn't like that. He was like, listen, you'll understand later, but you're gonna have to make it into this world by yourself. I'm not spoon feeding you. I'm not guiding you. I'm not giving you connections. And I was like, so what was the point of me going to uni again? I was like, uni, media production, get a job, resources, help
Yeah.
others, sorted. No. So yeah, and also you didn't have exams in media, and you finished very early before anyone else. So that's why I chose.
That's it. Yeah, it's all portfolios. Is this your portfolio? All computer-based, everything.
Exactly. That's
I
why I
love that
chose.
though. I prefer it. Exams just, yeah, I think that's the way. Just keep it portfolio-based.
See, I'm so good at anything like that. You know, projects, presentations.
I love it.
But exam.
Nah. But some people like to do things quickly, just do 2 hours, sit down, finish. But I
Yeah,
like the
but
long forming way. You've got time, you can get feedback and then change things and then, you know.
and
I
I'm
love
also
to see how it grows. The project grows over the time.
exactly. And also with exams, you need to have good memory. And I was that kid in school that would study for 6 months and then on the exam day forget everything. And my friends would study one day before and get the best results. So
There's people like that. There's people like that. Like, how do you do that? No, how do you guys do it? Is that
yeah, it's a skill.
it definitely is. Tell me about some of the early challenges you faced when first starting out at Nünude.
Do you know what? It was the transition from a service-based business to a product-based business.
Mm-hmm.
So a service-based business, you know, cash flow isn't such a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving your time in return. You don't really have any overheads. And it's more profit than ever. It's like 150% profit.
Wow.
Your margins are crazy as well because you're just giving time. It's just more admin costs, let's say. And then going into a product-based business, I thought would be somewhat similar, but it's completely different. And I think my biggest challenge was not understanding that transition and understanding that positive cash flow has to be projected a year, 2 years in advance. And I only learned that a year and a half into the business, and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Like you have to work years in advance. You have to know what's coming in, what's coming out, and you always have to have positive cash flow. If you don't have positive cash flow, you can't grow, you can't create products, you can't do anything. That was my biggest struggle, 100%, understanding the difference.
Yeah, me too. As you going back to what you're saying about before, like when you're 20 and you didn't know much about finance and ISAs and all this. I think this is something that should be taught in schools. You know, financial studies. Have a course in, if you're probably going to sixth form, even in secondary school, you should do accounting and finance courses from a young age, so you're prepared, so you're ready for later. So it keeps you, because you even need it when you need to know about it. So when you're buying your first house, mortgage, all this kind of stuff, you need to know this. Those kind of things are essential. Yeah, very essential.
Yeah, they don't teach it to you. They don't teach it.
Most schools don't teach financial studies. I mean, I remember studying it in sixth form. We did financial studies, and I was like, this is the first time I've heard this in school. And it was quite a good course. Like it was quite beneficial.
In sixth form, though, can you imagine?
Yeah.
In sixth form, like when you're already getting the pressure of what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I think you should learn it in year 11. You should learn about what you should be planning towards. Yeah.
You definitely need it. You need some kind of accounting and finance because this is essential.
Yeah.
And it's quick maths. It's not like long form, just quick maths. It's nothing too complex, you know.
Actually, you.
Yeah, you can actually use. Yeah, we've already covered your personal experiences, how Nünude has been informed. We're going to go off a bit about your business and talk about something that has been trending recently, and that's Black Lives Matter. What are your thoughts, and how can we help to tackle racism in society?
It's a hard one because do you know what? It was weird. Like the brand really, really, really did start with the fact that we wanted to represent people that weren't represented. Like my team consists of a diverse team because of that. And I think I'm really, really passionate about it. But what frustrated me was that we've been trying to tackle this issue for however many years since we launched. It hasn't been a trend for us. And then with the Black Lives Matter thing, which obviously it wasn't the first time Black Lives mattered, you know, it wasn't the first time it was a trend, let's say. But from the last trend to this trend, nothing's changed. Yet the small independent businesses, the small people, we're the ones really pushing for that change. But it's only when something big happens that everyone else follows through for a little bit, because obviously the momentum has died. It's just, I guess it's the frustration that it has to be a trend for people to care about it and for and you know what, after the death of Floyd, there was a few others, but it wasn't spoken about in such a way that caused kind of the trend again and the interaction from everyone, that it wasn't that important, and it's lost momentum. So again, it's like, I'm passionate about it and I want change. I just don't know if there will be change. I feel like with every industry trying to be more diverse, it's nice. I love that there was a Black Pound Day. I love that, you know, this is what it shows. Big companies were, my friend Abina, she's head of a PR agency, and she goes to me, do you know what's so sad, Joe? And I said, what? She goes, they're only calling me because I'm Black and they're all white and they don't know what to put out there. And I'm like, that's the issue in itself. Like, what did you say to them? She said, I messaged them back, hire someone so that you pay an agency to do this for you. But are they going to do anything? I don't know. I don't know. It's a difficult one. I just think slowly we might get there, but it just needs, it takes a bit from everyone. We all should be doing our part.
True. Honest conversations between whites, blacks, all races, and petitions. People have been signed up to petitions, donating, and rallying a lot as well. Quite recently. Yeah. But honest conversation between all involved, definitely. I think it's changing, but it's very slow. It won't happen overnight. That's
no, I think the only way it would change is if this continues. The momentum can't die. That's the only thing. And like, I think, for example, like organizations, business, fashion brands especially, they really need to give more opportunity to people to get into high positions. I've been speaking about this for ages. Like, if I'm a guest speaker in RT News about diversity and really big activist on that. And I remember when Prada done like a blackface thing, and we were speaking about like, the issue that no one in the senior positions, in the department, in the buying teams, in the designing teams, are of color or ethnic backgrounds, because if they were, things like this would never be an issue. And that, giving opportunity to people to be in those senior positions gives people more credibility. Like, if we can carry on passing that on. Do you know what? Another thing as well. I've recently been pitching to investors, and they are all bloody white. And I said to them, I'm pitching an idea to you which solves an issue for people of color. I don't know if you're going to understand. And it was so sad. But what they said to me is, so we understand that in the funding world, there isn't that many people of color. So we hope to fund people like you and other businesses to be a part of the solution somewhat, so that one day you guys can fund. I thought that was good. I mean, they're trying, but they're just not trying hard enough.
That sounds like a Dragon's Den kind of thing. That sounds a bit nerve-wracking.
8 men.
8 white men.
It was so funny. I literally walked in and I was like, oh my God. And they were like, are you okay? And I started laughing. I was like, I'm about to pitch the most feminist brand to do with solving a problem for women of not really Caucasian skin tones, but above that, to 8 men. I didn't even say white. I said 8 men, and they go, I'm white and old. And I said, and I was like, well, you said it. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll get there, I think, hopefully. One thing that we've decided to do is we're looking to, normally as a brand, big brands anyway, they collaborate with influencers and do like all these collections. But I've been speaking to people in the industry, and designers really don't get an opportunity to get out there. So we're doing a competition for up and coming fashion designers, but of BAME backgrounds. So Black and ethnic groups, and we'll choose a winner, and the winner will get to do a collaboration capsule collection with Nünude. So we're trying to implement things.
Yeah,
but imagine if all big brands did that. Imagine if ASOS did that.
Well, exactly. How would fashion be? How look at the fashion industry, it would just change dramatically like that. I think it's improving though. I think they're naturally changing. I went to Fashion Week last year with a magazine, and we went to, I don't know if you've heard of them, a fashion brand called House of Icons. And they push forward diversity. Is literally, you see, I've seen Colombian models, I've seen Nigerian models, I've seen the diversity on the runway. Everyone is represented. I think it's changing slowly but surely. Narrative fashion, in diversity in fashion, is going the right way. It's going the right way.
I mean, I'm fully passionate about it, so I don't think it's enough for me yet.
You get there. We'll get there. Yeah. What's your single, if I could narrow it down to your most favorite moment as the CEO of Nünude, what would that be? What's your single most favorite moment?
I think it's an ongoing moment. I think it's when people say, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm quite shy, to be honest. I'm like, I do fashion.
You keep it humble. You're nice and humble.
I'm really shy. I'm just like, and do you know what? There's just so much to it. I can't even concise it down. I'm like, oh, I do fashion, and then they're like, oh, so what do you do? I was like, oh yeah, like, like, so what is it? I'm like, Nünude. They're like, oh, the one with all the girls and the skin colors. That for me,
they know, yeah.
When they say that for me is like, oh wow, that's so nice. And then you know what? I went on holiday the other day, and the owner of the house we rented said to me, oh, like, I saw that you have because I had some branded stuff and it said Nünude. She goes, are you part of that brand that did like this campaign against secret? And I was like, yeah. She goes, oh my god, I love that brand so much. Like we were speaking about it here and it was in the news, and I was like, oh my god, that's so amazing. Like that fulfills me, and it
gives you
me
satisfaction that someone is seeing your work, seeing it out there. It's like,
and I think what they feel as well, that it's just so empowering. Like we love it, and I think the fact that someone's getting something positive out of it is what makes me
100%. That's when you know you made it. You're doing something right.
Doing something right. That's it.
Isn't it?
We're getting there.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, in an ideal world, I would like to be investing in businesses, women in particular, because it's so difficult to get funding and investment for women, and just women from BAME backgrounds. That's it. That's what I want to focus on, and helping them build businesses. So to be honest, I started kind of something like that during quarantine. I had so much more time because everything slowed down naturally. And I started up like a business mentoring kind of thing, only focusing on people from BAME backgrounds, helping them start or launch their idea, or if you need funding, get funding through the connections I've built. And I really, really want to grow that, but have to grow it simultaneous to the brand. So ideally, I would have some shares in the brand, sell it off, and then invest in businesses and help women of BAME backgrounds become successful.
Love that. Use that entrepreneurial mindset. Another thing is, could you see yourself having a physical, you don't be like fast fashion, but could you see yourself having a physical boutique, Nünude, in the future?
Do you know what? Online is the way, to be honest. Like, it really is. So I really predicted this like a year ago. I was like, something's going to happen and all stores are going to close down. I don't know what it is. And also there's loads of reports that say that, you know, the same thing, we're going to become a digital world. I think the only way it would be possible, and I would like to, is if it was completely like digitalized, and you walked in and automatically you got scanned and your color came up, and then it would tell you what part of the shop to go to match.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Really high tech.
I think that would happen, but I think we're quite far away from that. But
so maybe
that'd be amazing shopping experience. That'd be amazing. You come in.
I don't know though. The way technology is working nowadays, it's insane. Like it's developed over the past year.
Exactly. You really got the facial recognition, so you have the skin tone recognition.
Yeah, you do have it. It's a technology that exists already. We looked into it.
Exactly. Amazing. Seriously, that is what you've called it now. You're speaking to existence.
Yes.
5 years from now, you'll be hearing of that. It'll be normal in the shops. This will be a standard procedure.
That's what we want it to be. Yeah.
And do you have any advice for those that may have doubts? They're doubting whether maybe they're not good enough, or they feel like there's pressure. There's many doubts going through their minds about why they should take the plunge to start their own entrepreneurial adventure. What advice have you got to give them?
Well, quite a few. I think the first advice that I have found has worked for myself more than ever is someone once said to me, I can't remember, it was like a business seminar, I must have been like 18, and they said that you should always try and go to the best in your field of what you want to get to, and just contact them to see if you can shadow them. And I really, really implemented that from day one to now. Even till now, I'll just send a message. If you reply, you reply. If you don't, you don't. And I have been really lucky to connect with people, and my passion and my drive has spoken for itself, that doors have been open where I never thought they'd be open, and I've rubbed shoulders with amazing people just for the sake of saying, can I come? Can I watch? Can I learn? I'm not asking you to pay me for anything. Basically, you'll work for free for like a day, 2 days, a week, or whatever, just to learn. And you learn so much more than what you would learn by yourself. So that's my biggest advice.
For sure, shadowing someone.
100%.
Learning, never stop learning, observing.
Never stop learning. And if you can't, you can. YouTube and there's Google. YouTube's your best friend. If you can't edit, you will edit through YouTube.
Exactly.
If you can't do anything, just go on YouTube.
Listen to that advice. Advice from Joanne. Guys, that's for you. That's for you guys. Budding entrepreneurs, you heard it there. The advice there. Just go on YouTube. Edit your videos.
Edit your videos. That's how I learned. I didn't learn how to edit in the media course in uni. So I went on YouTube and I learned. I learned how to build a website on YouTube. I learned how to do Photoshop on YouTube. Like, I'm a whiz at it now. Exactly. I'm learning After Effects now on YouTube.
Yeah. Everything online. Everything online. You don't have to, all for free, you don't even have to pay. Guys, just take that step. Just take the step.
Please, just do it.
And finally, at the BAME magazine, we love to ask our guests, if you had an opportunity to speak to your old self, what would you say and why?
Oh, just start sooner. Start sooner, because fear really does control you. And to be honest, you know what? I personally don't think fear ever goes. I think just fear stops controlling you. The more you start doing things that you're fearful of, not the less fear, but it just no longer controls you. It's more like, I still get scared. I'm like, oh, I'm about to do this, but it's more like, I'm going to do it anyway. Rather
it's adrenaline, the buzz will take you through it.
Yeah, and you become accustomed to it. You learn how to do it. So just do it, and do it earlier. Do it
earlier. Love that. And trust the process.
Yeah, it's cliche, but trust the process. Everything will happen when it's meant to happen.
Exactly. Trust the time. Trust in the timing.
Timing is everything, you know. Timing is everything.
For sure, especially in business, especially in the business world.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Oh, sorry.
And with that, it's good to. That's a good note to end on. Thank you so much, Joanne, for taking the time. CEO and founder of Nünude, for taking the time to speak with the BAME magazine.
Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to this. Thank you.